Greetings to the viewers and subscribers. Today we will be diving into N4 content 9-on-1 needed report courses. So we'll be focusing specifically on a hospitality module which is called Applied Management N4 Reverse Curriculum. So I will be diving into Module 1. We're going to be discussing the aspects and the importance of Module 1, the things that Module 1 wants you to know, or rather to remember, or rather to be able to apply. So as we dive into the content, so Module 1 mostly are the differences. So Module 1 forces us to know the differences between these terminologies, or rather these terms. So the difference for the first terms will be enterprise, establishment, and company. So the first point there, as you can see, it's asking us the difference between enterprise, establishment, and company. So knowing the differences between the two, we must know the definitions of these terms. So the first one will be what is an enterprise, right? What is an enterprise? What is an establishment? What is a company? So enterprise, it's the same word as business. So if you don't want to say enterprise, you could say business. So this is how you describe a business or enterprise. So the term enterprise, the other synonym of enterprise is business. So making it in simple terms, when you see enterprise, just remember business, because it's the simple term that I can give you, which is the synonym of enterprise. So what it simply means, it means that the enterprise or business refers to the activity of buying and selling products and services. So guys, I normally recommend you, my subscribers or my viewers, when watching this kind of content, to be having their scribbler where they will be taking notes. So basically I'll be sharing the most points, or I'm gonna be giving you the shortest way to answer questions, so that it becomes more easier for you to grasp the content. It becomes more easier for you to cram whatever that we are learning right now. So I would recommend that you have a pen and a scribbler where you're going to be writing down the points as I'm saying. So I'm going to be shortening the description, or rather the sentences, while I'm explaining it to you. So a enterprise or a business, it normally refers to activity of buying and selling of products or services. So you can sell products, you can sell services. So for instance, when it comes to services, so most people tend to oversleep when it comes to the question of what are services. And to make it easier for you to understand, so services are things like me tutoring you at the fee. Specifically, my enterprise, it's me selling my service to you. It means me tutoring you on a service fee. It means I'm offering my savings at the fee that you pay for me to give you sessions in terms of tutoring, right? So that is a typical example of what a service is. So it's not a physical product, but it can be described as something that you offer. So for instance, your services can be editing my videos. That is the service that you provide. I'm not buying products from you, but rather I pay for your services. I pay for you to help me or to do something for me. So get the meaning clearly. So a business or an enterprise refers to an activity. That's key point number one. Refers to an activity. It has to have an activity. When you answer your questions, normally the examiner would want to see these points that I will be focusing on. So the first point is that it has to be an activity, or you can say a process. However you're going to construct your English, but it has something with activity or something with doing something, right? So an enterprise or a business, it refers to activity of buying and selling. So buying and selling, those are two key points. They need to be there. So business is trading, and that's another word that you could use. You can say business is trading. So what is trading? Trading is exchanging of something, right? Meaning you sell me, you trade. When you trade, I sell you this, you sell me that, or whatever exchange that will be happening would require money. So where there's money, there's trading. So right then, so that's what you need to grasp. So when you see a term enterprise or business, for instance, the examiner can just decide to just want to give you 2 marks for enterprise or for business. So it must be easy for you to explain. So hence I said, let me take time and explain such things into depth, so you know their importance. You know how deep they can mean during the exams, right? You must be able to know. It has to be simplified for you to know it easily, that when it shows up, you already have confidence to answer it, right? You already have the ability to say, oh, business or enterprise refers to activity of selling of products and services. So then if it is a 3-mark allocation, it will require this additional information, which I'm going to read. So the first 2 points, I said that is the activity of buying and selling of products. That's 2 marks. So in order for you to get the third point, which is the 3rd mark, if mark allocation, it's 3 marks. Here's how you can earn that point, by just including that enterprise or business also includes financial or marketing or production aspects. You can just say it also includes marketing. So it also, or you can just say it also require marketing, or you can give example of any product that can be sold. That's a form of marketing, which is you're going to get credit for that. If you want the 3rd additional point, you can just say enterprise or business refers to activity of selling and buying of products and services. E.g., it can be selling a service such as designing posters for the school, or selling products to the students, e.g., selling hot dogs. So that's a point. That's a point that you could earn you marks. So which is basically can be a general point. You can think of it, right? So let's move forward to the establishment. So what is an establishment? An establishment refers to the place where business is conducted. Conducted refers to where buying and selling will be taking place. So it's where the services will be offered, or where people will be buying from. If I will be selling chicken feet at the gate of the school, my establishment will be recognized at the gate outside the gate of the school or at the gate of the campus. So where I will be selling my chicken feet, that is where my establishment is. No matter it's a mobile or residential, we're still going to dive into depth with those kind of things. But what you need to understand when understanding establishment, it refers to a place where business takes place. So if your home, you are selling quarter source companies, that is your establishment for business. So when they ask, where are you selling where is your establishment, so that we can support you, ma'am, or say, you know that it is where you sell the services, right? So I hope it makes sense, guys. So coming to the company, what is a company, right? A company refers to a large ownership of what? Of an enterprise. So now it goes back to where? To enterprise and business. So in order for it to be called a company, it has to meet certain criteria. It has to meet certain standards. It means it has to have people that are going to help you, right? So it becomes a company once you are not alone. You are not only managing it alone, meaning you hire external sources. You have people that offer certain things in your businesses. So it now becomes a company. So a company refers to the means of people or the involvement of people in a business. You can just say the involvement of people in business, the involvement of people in the business. So, or the owners of the business, the owners of the businesses. So the owners can be you and your sister owning one business, which is you have inherited the business from your parents. So it could be that. It means you are not alone, you are not a business owner, but you are owners. You and your sister become owners, right? So it means you have a company that belongs to the both of you, right? So a company refers to the people who own what? A business. So we are going to dive into point number 2, which highlights as the difference between commercial and non-commercial. So when we are talking about commercial and non-commercial, what exactly are we referring to? So we're looking at commercial. So commercial, guys, it's think of income, think of money that is earned. That's commercial, right? Money that is earned. So in simple terms, I can just say profit. If you are selling something, it means you are making something out of it, right? So if you are selling pens or rulers, the money that we give you, it's regarded as commission. It's labeled as commission. It means it's something that you're going to earn. It's money that you're going to receive for selling, for giving us pens. Right, for giving us pens, you get paid for giving us pens. You get paid for cooking delicious food. So it's a example of a commercial. So commercial refers to profit or refers to money rather. So non-commercial, it's doing something without expecting the return of money. For instance, you can just cook for the street kids or strangers without expecting them to pay you for your food. It means your service or whatever that you are offering, it's a non-commercial establishment, or it's a non-commercial service, or it's a non-commercial product, meaning you do not expect a value, currency or value in terms of money, or you do not expect to make any profit. You do not expect to make any profit. rather you're offering it, it can be offered at a commission, which is you can just say, I'm going to connect you with the same person that sells let's say pens, which is I'm not gonna make money. So if you buy this pen for 2 rand, I'm not gonna earn anything from it. Simply what I'm doing is I'm helping you to get the source of the pens for free, or there won't be any extra fees paid. You're gonna pay the same amount that you pay to the supplier, meaning you're not making any profit. So being non-commercial refers to you not making any profit. So diving into point number 3, the difference between profit-based and non-profit-based. So these two things, point number 2 and point number 3, normally they do confuse students. And since the examiner would see that I know if I can play around these two things, these kids, or sorry to say kid, these students can be confused, and I like confusing students. So you as a student who have taken time to master your module 1, now even if the examiner plays around these things, if the examiner, for instance, ask to say, what are name example of a commission establishment, and what are non-profit based organizations, or what are commercial organizations, and what are non-commercial organizations, already would know that, okay, now let me first explain the difference between the two, the profit based and non-profit based. So what is a profit based and what is a non-profit based? Remember I said commercial and non-commercial. It's like commercial, you are offering something with expectations of earning something, right? Which is profit. I'm selling you, I'm giving you this pen at 5 rand because I'm going to make profit from selling this pen to you, despite whether I bought the pen for 2 rand. Me, I'm selling it for 5 rand, meaning I'm going to earn extra 3 rand from my 2 rand, which is I'm making commission, I'm making profit, I'm making money out of doing that. But if I say to you, I bought this pen with 2 rand, I'm selling it to you with 2 rand, it means I'm not making anything. So basically, I became a non-profit individual who sells pen. Or I say, because you are late for your exams, here's a pen for free. It means I am what? Non-commercial. I didn't give you a pen at a fee, or I didn't expect to make profit out of giving you my pen. So hope you get the difference, guys. So diving looking into the profit-based and non-profit-based, here's how it could be explained. So a profit-based means that goods and services are sold at a higher price than its production cost. So profit-based establishment. Now, the typical example could be me selling hot dogs. So me selling hot dogs, let's say I just bought rations for 15 rand, and I also bought rolls also for 15 rands, which I think, let's just make an example of saying my rolls are like 6, right? And my rations are also like 6 inside the package, and I both got them for like 30 bucks. So me selling one hot dog for 30 rand, it means I'm a profit-based individual or establishment. So I'm targeting very high margins. I'm selling something more, with more commission, with more margin, than what I used to buy the product. So because if you check, I bought, let's say, 6 Viennas for 15 rand. I also bought 6 rolls for 15 rand, which combined all those things, they cost me around 30 rand. So let's say, for argument's sake, I sell one whole dog for 30 bucks. It will mean that I'm selling one whole dog with a margin that could buy me the next 6 rations and 6 wholes. So typically, I'm a profit-based establishment. So what are non-profit-based establishment? So non-profit based usually refers to selling things below the cost or without aiming of a making of profit. So profit based and non-commercial, they are more likely similar, or rather they are similar. So they can mean the same thing, right? They can mean the same thing. But the trick here on non-based organization, it's that it involves, I'm going to give you examples. So a non-profit base means that products and services are delivered at or below cost without the aim of making profit. So it could be doing it for free or doing it at the minimum profit margin, or not even aiming for profit. Saying we bought 6 hot dogs, we bought like 6 rolls and 6 versions. So our hot dogs, we're going to divide our cost. We're going to do our costing to check how much we're going to sell the hot dogs for, which is we do not exceed our break even, right? So non-profit, they also include NPO. So NPO, it is what we will refer to meeting or doing things for the society. So giving clothes, giving food to the strangers, same as non-commercial. The things that I was, the examples that I was making with non-commercials, they are more based on non-profit based. So they are more the same. So you need to know that non-commercial, it means you're not making profit, and non-profit based, it also refers to doing something without targeting what? Profits. So it actually means the same thing. Non-profit based and non-commercial, it's often the same thing. So I need you to get the two differences between profit based and non-profit based. So a non-profit base also, it can be you doing meals for people that are sick. So you can just give those typical examples that I gave you on commercial, non-commercial, when I was explaining a little bit more. So yeah, I hope you get the differences between commercial and non-commercial, and the difference between profit-based and non-profit-based. I would more likely say that they are the same. They mean the same thing. So as you see, as we dive into this now, even the examiner, if he or she tries to trick the question paper, we will be more likely to highlight these differences, to say it's often the same thing. It's just that the terms are different, but actually it contains siblings, which is points that are the same, that carry the same meaning. So it carries the same points. So if you know the points for commercial, they can also be applied to profit based. If you know the points from non-commercial, they can also be applied to non-profit based. So basically they carry the same bloodline. Hence that's why I say these are our siblings. They are related. Whatever you're going to test on commercial is going to also show on profit based. So you knowing the difference, you know that if they it happens that it's there. The difference will be the examples, right? It will be the examples that you offer, but they often mean the same thing, guys. So let's go to point number 4, the difference between residential establishment and non-residential establishment. So looking into residential, the first term residential, it has to ring a bell to you that residential. What is a residential? So the trick here, guys, often the problem that makes the content very hard to learn, it's you understanding the language. The problem is the language. It's not that people are slow or they do not understand. I believe that people do understand. The problem becomes the language, understanding certain words. So residential, when they give you a form and they say fill in your residential, what are they asking for? They're asking you to fill your home address. So residential would refer to a place where you normally go back and sleep, right? So when here they saying difference between residential establishment and non-residential, so this residential term, I said to you, residential refers to a place where you normally you normally go back and sleep. That is your residential. That is your home. It can give you a sort of comfort. It can give you a sort of options to say, I'm going to sleep at home or I'm going to sleep out. So in business or in hospitality rather, the focus of the residential will be your hotels, your B&B. So those kind of things that offer such services like you can sleep here tonight are often residential establishment. So key point, residential establishment are things like your guest house, your hotels, where they can offer you to sleep. They can offer you to sleep at a fee. So normally there are places where you can get accommodated to a rest. Yes, get accommodated to a rest. So that's the simple term, guys. So breaking the residential establishment, we said residential is a place where you can go back and sleep. Establishment, remember, establishment is a place where business is being conducted, meaning a place where business takes place. So meaning once it is combined, so you know that residential, a place where I can go and sleep, then establishment, it means there's business going on there. So your hotel is a business. So they are selling a service, they are selling products, they are selling food. So their services is for you to come and book in so they can work, they can allocate room. So their services is giving you room for tonight. So for tonight, I'm going to give you my room for 250. That is a service that I'm rendering. So I'm rendering my room to you to utilize my room for 250 for tonight. So it means I'm doing what? Business. I'm doing what? Enterprise. And we say business what? An activity of what? Buying and selling of products or services. So basically, residential establishment refers to what? Services, right? And non-residential. So here's the trick. Here's the turning point of what non-residential is. Non-residential meaning restaurants, right? Think of KFC. You cannot go there and sleep. They cannot offer you accommodation. So they are what? They are considered to be a non-residential establishment. So it is a business but does not offer accommodation. They cannot accommodate you to sleep. You just go there and do your thing. You buy the products or you buy the service, then you leave, right? So normally they do not have the options of you sleeping there. So that, I think I've tried to explain with simple terms. KFC is a typical example for non-residential. You can only go there and buy food. You cannot go there and sleep. But rather, going to Motor Casino, you can buy food there, you can sleep there. So it becomes a residential establishment. But non-residential, e.g. KFC or McDonald's, let me not say McDonald's, but KFC, but they are often the same. They do not have bedding, they do not have blankets for people. So hence that is why they are regarded as non-residential. So diving into the point number 5, what are welfare organizations? So what are welfare organizations? So welfare organizations refers to, I would say, it is a system which the government provides support to its citizens through welfare organizations. So there are services to meet basic human needs such as food and shelter. So welfare organizations. So let's say, for instance, we have a crisis in KZN, KwaZulu-Natal. The houses are being flooded. So what we are more likely to experience, we're going to experience welfare organizations coming together to help those kind of people that have faced flooding. So what they are going to do is that they are going to give them temporary shelter, provide temporary food for them while they recover from the flooding. So a welfare organization, remember, it's like a middleman to government. So if I open a welfare organization, it means wherever a crisis happens, a crisis is a tragic event or something, I can say, event where maybe people, their house burned. Then I have a welfare organization. I can simply go there and assist with my welfare organization to say my welfare organization is going to cover the accommodation for the coming 3 months until they sort their things out. So with the assistance of what? Government. So I will be getting funding from where? Government. So, but do not mix your definitions. You do not mix when you are defining what a welfare is. You can just say a welfare, it's a organizations that work with government in order to assist or in assisting people with shelter or food. So by that, the examiner will be forced to give you your marks. So you don't have to say the exact the exact sentence, but if you have the key points, what's important, guys, it's not throwing away key points. So I hope you are taking down the key points. So industrial establishment. So what are industrial establishments? So industrial establishments, they are large establishments involving bulk manufacturing or processing or handling of products. So industrial establishment are establishment that produces bulk products. So where are these products being manufactured? A good example is industrial establishment can be factories. So we got factories that produce Nike. We got Nike factory, which is popular, hence I'm going to make a reference with it. So Nike factory, for instance, they produce Nike clothes. But Total Sports, Sports Scene, and all these kind of other shops, they go there and stock, which is they buy in bulk. So that is where you normally can buy in bulk. That is where you normally can get things in bulk. So example is a factory. So a factory is where you can buy things in bulk. So I hope you get that, guys. So what is an industrial establishment? It's an establishment where they sell bulk products. So they sell things in bulks. You can just say this. It is where they sell things in bulks to pretty simplify your English, so that the examiner can just the marker can just see that you understand. So basically, guys, the person who will be marking your scripts, what normally they are looking for understanding, which is number one. If they want to see if you understand. So if you do not try to write anything, it simply tells them that you don't even understand what is being asked. But if you try to write something, I normally encourage my students to not skip even a single line. So no matter you are facing a brain freeze, try and write something. Do not skip, because you skipping, you automatically telling the person who's making your script that I do not know and I do not care. So why must the marker bother looking for points if already they can see that you do not care? So it triggers their attitude towards all your question paper, your answer script. Imagine if I just check multiple choice. I'm like, you didn't write multiple choice. I'm the one who's making a question paper. Automatically, I'm going to be triggered to say, this person, it seems like he or she doesn't know anything. So automatically, when I'm marking, I'm not going to be looking for points, because you have already showed me that you do not understand anything from the beginning. So your attitude, the way you answer, it shows your attitude to the people who are marking your script. So always apply positive attitude when you are writing, guys. You do not skip. You must try. Even if you write something that is out of context, at least it will mean to them, maybe he knows or maybe she knows, just that he doesn't have the right words to put it into place. Let me try and read this paragraph and see if I can make sense out of it. Then you simply can earn 1 mark, right? So I will always encourage my students, do not skip, guys. And I was explaining what are industrial establishments. So industrial establishments, we say, are what are factories that sells products in bulks, or you can say it's where it's an involvement of manufacturing products that are going to be sold in bulk. So those are key points that I've just mentioned to you, guys. So the difference between contract services. So we are looking at the last point, which is the difference between contract services and outsourced services. So what are the difference between contract services and outsourced services? So the trick here is that you first need to know what a contract means. So hence I say, most of the time, it's not that students do not know the answers. It's just that they might not be understanding the addition of other terms into the word that they already understand. I know for sure that we all understand what a contract is, right? So we understand a contract has to do with what? Agreement between two people. We are agreeing, me and you are agreeing that at the end of the semester we give each other 50 rand. If me, I beat you with my marks, you give me 50. It's a mutual agreement between two people, right? So once it includes services, what are services? I said services are things like, can be you teaching me we make a contract. If you beat me, I will be the one who's going to be listening to you. I will be the one taking notes from you because you have done better, right? So, but let's look into the actual meaning. So please do not generalize. I'm just giving you hints so that you can be able to remember. I'm not saying those are the things that you're going to write there. So a contract services. So a contract services, the point that you will have to have, the first point, you're going to need to say that it refers to a formal agreement. So you can say a formal financial agreement or a formal agreement between two parties. So a contract services refers to a formal agreement or a formal financial agreement between two parties that are going to be exchanging services or that are going to be trading, which is I will be giving you money to cater for me. So basically a contract, that is a contract services. I will be giving you money to get your security to guard for me. So it's a formal agreement. So contract, it's formalized. It cannot be informal, guys. So once we sign, we know we have types of contracts, right? But in this definition, it has to be what? Formal. It does not have to be a verbal agreement. We need to formalize things. We are business. We are into business. Everything, it's taken serious. So a contract would require what? Would require a formal document where I need to put on my signature and the date that I've put on the signature, and you also have to sign in reference of you agreeing. So that's the formality of what a contract services is. So basically, I say that it's a formal agreement between two parties, right? So I made examples of catering services, security. I'm still going to dive into the examples. So then let's go to outsourced services. What are outsourced services? So outsourced services, it will refer to what? When we say outsourcing, it means rather me using my own people to wash the dishes. I would rather hire people outside my establishment to come wash dishes. It means those people that will be coming to wash my dishes, I would have outsourced them. So I'm not using the insourced workers. Rather, I'm using outside people to get the job done. So outsource, it refers to that. So the services will be dishes. So hope you get the difference. So outsourcing is a practice in which one company hires another company to take complete control of a specific process or function which is not the core function of the hiring company. So this one, they like asking it. So in the definition, looking at the definition, let me just give you a way that you could just remember this. So when they ask you what is an outsourced services, you can just say outsourced services is a practice or a process where the company hires another company, e.g. they're hiring telecom to take calls for them because they do not have the specialty of call centers, right? So it can be an outsourced services or security. We as hiring a security with outside our establishment. It means we do not have the resources to have our own security. We do not have the resources to have our own security. So the best way to remember it, right? So let's just make it clear. Like, look at your campuses. Most of the time, the security guards are not hired by the institution itself. They are outsourced. So what I simply mean is that I hire Undlovu, which has Undlovu Securities. So Undlovu Securities will bring the team or his team to guard our campuses. So normally our campuses securities are outsourced, are guarded by people outside working with the establishment. They do not work directly with the institution. Rather, they work for Ndlovu. Ndlovu is the middleman between the institution and them. So if we have a problem regarding security guard, we call Ndlovu and address our problems. Then Ndlovu will go and address his team. So that's how outsourced services, it's simplified. So guys, I think for now I will have to just end here the video. So I'm going to be recording again, diving into the examples or diving into more depth of the content. So I think for now we make sure that you subscribe, you switch on your notification for other uploads. So I'm going to be uploading this first part of module 1. So module 2 it's coming. As you can see guys, it's coming, module 2, where I will be explaining the examples, right, of the terms, the different terms of the things that I've been explaining to you. So ensure that you subscribe, you switch on the notification bell for new updates and new uploads, and ensure that you join the WhatsApp group chat, which is for free. But also, if you are looking for tutoring services, we also do offer our tutoring services. I think I'm going to leave our flyers at the end of the video, or at the beginning, but I think at the end of the video it's where I'm gonna leave my flyers for you to see, guys. So yeah, hope to see you on the next video.